Hey, in this tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to work on your George Washington Carver make a map project. It's actually quite simple, so let me just show you a finished product, something I did so you guys can see what it looks like in the end. So here we go. So this is what mine looks like when I completed it, and then you'll see what we'll do one. I'll teach you how to do one. So I just put a title, The Great Inventor, George Washington Carver. I took out some pictures and I just placed them there. And then I answered, I basically said what happened in the movie. Okay, so, when you log in as a student, what you'll see is, go ahead and put your code in, student name, and your with an S, and then your date of birth as always. And go ahead and click on dashboard. Okay, and then you go under George Washington Carver. You'll go back to George Washington Carver make a map, and this is what you will see. You will see this as an entrance. So let's just go ahead and hit create new. Don't use a template because I think that might be a little bit more confusing. Just create new, and if you do want to use a template, you can actually do it later on. Okay, real quick, it's already called a George Washington assignment, so just go ahead and just become a little familiar right here. If you never watched the movie, you click right here and you watch the movie, and then you can go ahead and when you stop seeing it, you can just pause it and watch the whole movie. Okay, and then next thing you have on this little panel right here, you have your images. Okay, and these are good enough. They're good enough for you to write your story. Then you have some keywords you may want to write. They're important. You can just label them. We'll talk about that later. Then this is for you to create your own boxes, text boxes. But just gonna go ahead and when you click on the pencil, you get a choice to change the color of the box or delete them. And here's one with arrows. Again, when you click on the pencil, you can just delete them. So it's very simple. And then if you want, here's some more stuff you can do. You can choose some pre-made templates. Those are good. I just think that for right now they're a little bit more difficult to use than just making your own without them. And then you can add notes. The notes you add, I won't be able to see them. They're just for you. You can print your map and then maybe take a photo and send it to me. You can also look at other maps that you've done. This is projects you saved before, but we don't have any right now. So you don't like your map, you can create a new map by just putting a new title. Okay, now that you know this panel, let's go back to the beginning. Okay, so if we want to make a video, if we want to make a map over here, it's very simple. So again, just click on images. Okay, and the good thing about this, it's very simple to write. On images, you have these boxes. Just choose a box, drop it right here, and put a title. So I chose The Great Inventor, but that doesn't have to be your title, The Great Inventor. Okay. Then maybe pick an image. I like him. I like him as an old man. Okay. And then I'm gonna write his name. His whole name. George Washington. Make sure you write it right. Washington Carver. Now I know it's a little bit harder with your cell phone, but try your best. That's all I can tell you. Try your best. Okay, so there's our. Okay, now if you look over here, there's. By the way, you can move this pane up and down. You can focus in or focus out. And then and if you look over here, there's some questions. Okay, this one says, how did George Carver become a scientist? We can just put those tabs right there. We can answer them later. The next one says, how did George Washington change farming? Okay, so these are things that you learned in the movie. And the last one is, what did George Washington Carver make? Okay, this is very simple. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to answer this question. Again, you know, be careful with me. Now, I'm just gonna go ahead and basically, to answer this, I'm gonna put a picture. How did George Washington become a scientist? Well, maybe you want to write that in the beginning was very hard for him because he was nobody wanted to give him a chance. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put this right here. Now, if you click on him, you'll get this little tab. So right there, I'm just gonna write in the beginning, no one wanted to give. And because this is the first thing that I'm writing, the first paragraph, I'm gonna go ahead and write his whole name, George Washington Carver, a chance to go to college because he was African American. By the way, if you forget the key things, they have this you can always expand this. I hope you can. Well, if you can't expand it, just leave it like that. But if you forget what to, you forget the keywords, you can look. If you look over here, it says keywords. Then you can look at them over there, and then see. I already know that's African American. I can put it right here. And if you click on a keyword, it actually tells you what part of the movie.
Even though slavery ended, many schools would not take African Americans.
So yeah, so it tells you what part of the movie that's in. And remember, to erase it, you can just leave it there, or you can erase it. Okay, but the question is, how did he become one? So that I didn't answer my question. So the next thing I'm gonna put is, if you remember, in the movie it says that Iowa State gave him an opportunity. However, Iowa State gave him an opportunity to study there. Okay. Okay. So the next question that would answer that. The next question is, how did he change farming? Okay. Now, for that, I'm just going to choose this this one, which represents the crops. And I'm just going to say, back then, farmers planted a lot of cotton. Cotton took away the nutrients from the soil and damaged it. So what did George Washington do? Well, how did he change farming? I'll click this image. Remember, if I don't want that image, I can always click delete, okay? But I do want that image, so I'm gonna go ahead and click it, or just drag it over here. And I'm gonna write that. George Washington. Now I don't have to write the whole name. Now I can just write George Washington. I do want to write the last name. Carver taught farmers that they could plant other crops such as peanuts and potatoes, okay, to put back the nutrients in the, and I can't see it, so I'm just gonna soil. And that's it. You're done with that one. And then the last one, I mean, you're not really cheating, because I'm giving you the answers because you can watch the movie in the middle of the project. So don't think like, ooh, Mr. Medina's cheating for me. No, he's not. What you need to do is just learn the stuff, and you'll be good. Okay. So what discoveries did he make? Well, again, always begin with a full name, but this time you can just write George Washington Carver. Just don't begin with he when you first begin something. George Washington Carver discovered over 100 different ways to use peanuts. And then another thing he did was, the most important probably thing he did was, I'm going to use him as a note man. Now you can write he also taught farmers that they needed to rotate their crops to get, well, better crops, okay, to get a better harvest. That's basically it, guys. It's not very difficult. Oh, we have that. Eliminate it. Okay, then you would hit save and send to teacher. If you have any questions about how to do this, just have your parents text me. And let me show you one last thing. Let me show you this made so that you can see the whole thing. Again, if you have any questions, just have your parents call me, text me. Remember, you're gonna hit save and send, and I'll try to answer your questions. Thank you.